Previously on Raider Power, Texas Tech baseball.
Good compete, had opportunities, had the right guys in the right spots. It's baseball, okay? No self-inflicted wounds. You got it? Easier to live with, and there's no self-inflicted wounds. Get locked in, get your rest, come back out here tomorrow and win a series. You understand? It's right there for you, man. This bunch right here is a good bunch, okay? But we have to do things right. All of them, just like anybody. You understand? Okay? Don't open the door for anybody. Let's get right after them tomorrow. You know, as long as a kid wants to hang around you, and he wants to hang around you because you're wearing that uniform. And if you understand it like that as the person, because there's going to come a day where you're going to take the uniform off. You know, when you're 20, when you're 30, when you're, you know, if you get to play for a long time, when you're 35, 40 years old. But once you take the uniform off, they don't know who you are anymore. So enjoy it while you can. Take the opportunity to say a couple words to a kid. It doesn't hurt you. There's no time lost there. Play catch with the kid. If he remembers that, that's great.
That's strike? That's strike, right? Yeah. That's strike three.
I was a kid once, you know, then, and you know, I probably thought any college player was, you know, pretty good. So, you know, if I could spend a couple minutes playing catch with them, you know, I'd love that. And you know, it was really fun.
What you want? Fastball?
I can remember just when I was, you know, in middle school, not even that long ago, but I was doing the same thing that these little kids were doing, just getting excited even over a little foul ball, you know, that means nothing to us. So I think it's a good thing that we do.
You just pass it down, it's goodwill. It's all, you know, there's a common ground with baseball. And I think our guys, for the most part, do a good job with that. They understand that that's an honor. That's not a task that you have to perform. That's an honor and part of what goes with being a college baseball player.
You gonna play catch with Burley? Bo, you go outside of your legs. Use one hand. Trust it. You put your hands here, it locks your feet up.
Very good coach. He's got a very good feel for the game. He's dedicated. He's a work guy. There's guys out there at times that are tremendous recruiters, but they don't spend any time with their teams. And you know, that's not our system here. But you know, just a very good coach and a tremendous recruiter.
That's Bryant Burleson.
He's a real hard-nosed guy, and he loves to compete, and he's trying to get that in us. And he's always working hard, and he's making us better.
I like the process of a baseball game. How you have to play good for 9 innings and not one.
How much do I enjoy it? Oh, I had 5 broke ribs one time and 2 broke things off the bottom of my back. I don't know what they're called. Transverse process. And how much I enjoy it. I got on the field the next day and it didn't hurt when I was on the field. As soon as I got off the field, I had to go lay down. Couldn't get out of the car. Couldn't get out of bed hardly. Took about 5 minutes to get out of the car. So that's how much I enjoy it.
Oh, best ones out there is when you miss it a little bit. They gotta run.
It allows us to be kids again. I mean, it allows you to go out and play. And I think any kind of recreation, anybody that knows anything about it, is good for people. And I mean, heck, it'd do me some good play 18 holes of golf every now and then too. But since we don't get to do that very much, it's a beautiful thing when we get to go on the field every day.
That was symptom coaching there. He had a hard time with that play the other day.
Oh, he's probably the best. I mean, he's played the game and he's coached at all different levels. So I mean, just having his knowledge, it really helps out a lot.
Trust your glove. Future big leaguer, third baseman. I said, at least you hadn't blocked one yet. Well, Bo taking ground balls is kind of, so we got another guy. Pretty good play. Did you get that one? I think Bo's a natural. He might not think it.
Just as important as teaching them is managing each guy, you know, to accept their role on the team. And the importance of having a relationship with them is to get them to trust you enough and to understand what their role on the team is.
Usually, relationships you build in baseball usually last a long time.
That's where the relationships come in. And of course, I mean, what are you doing if whatever you do in life, if you don't have relationships? That's what life's about.
I would say coaching, sometimes those relationships are even better, too. Because you get to help them and get to know their families.
The thing that I got from him is he loves to work hard, and I love that. And you know, he is a great coach at Texas Tech.
And then when they come back and tell you that it did carry over, there's got to be some satisfaction there. We visited a little bit. Hopefully you guys remember, we got to practice physically to get better mentally. You got that? You guys that hadn't been through a Big 12 weekend, do you understand now what a grind it is? Do you? Mentally, the best team wins on Sunday. It's mentally better. Y'all understand that?
Well, baseball is a game that'll challenge you mentally, and obviously the mental side of it's the part I feel like in college baseball, minor league baseball, it's probably not taught as much as it needs to be.
The key to this deal is this. We got to keep getting better. Mentally, just as much so as physically.
He's always talking to us about getting better mentally, and I think that helps in all aspects of life, not just in baseball. So
we got to bring intensity to the game, okay? All the time. It's a grind. There's going to be times where you want to take a pitch off. It is a grind in this league. It's a man's league, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, playing five games a week, it's tough. I mean, you go on the road for a 3-game series, or even at home for a 3-game series. You get a day off, and then you're playing again on Tuesday.
It's a baseball game. It's the same game you played your whole life, right? Go be a baseball player. Bring that grind to every pitch, all right? You got it? It's a long deal. Let's get it going now, right? You got that?
They tend to get in their own way quite a bit. And what our job is to try to get them to get out of their own way and try to trust themselves and play like they're kids.
If you understand, if you adjust now, because we got to start getting better now. We got to keep growing. Keep getting better. Keep working at it, all right? Reality is we got a guy missing over here. Can we hold the fort down?
But right now what we're trying to do is teach them to bring their best every day. Teach them to try to be great every day. And try to play at a high level every day.
But mentally, we got to be good. We got to remind each other. We got to remind you to be mentally better, but we trust you to go do the job. You got it?
The key part is really just to try to get them to get out of their own way, no matter what the circumstance of the game is, what the game is doing to them. The game can be cruel to people, and it's a tough game. It's a game about failure, and you got to be able to learn to get out of your own way and play with a clear mind.
Between the ears, you got to get better. It has nothing to do with God-given abilities. You got that? It has to do with preparing and understanding. I gotta put that at bat away and go play defense. If you do that, would you have had a shot Sunday?
And obviously, if we can get in postseason, it's more important to play great late than great early. If you can play great late, you got a chance.
Got it? All right? All right, let's go.
got me mic'd up. Feel like I'm,
really?
yeah, I feel like I'm, you know, like Bill Parcells or something, like NFL films.
I've known Andy for a long time. You know, I recruited him at Oregon State. He was a very good baseball player. He hit a lot of home runs, drove in a lot of runs, did things right. You know, got into coaching, dabbling after professional baseball, dabbling in baseball, coaching basketball, doing different things. And I think he liked it and got a passion.
This game has given me, you know, almost everything I have, and so, you know, I just love the game. I've loved it since I was a little kid, and it's just fun. It's fun. I don't, you know, just the time that you get spent out here is a gift, and you have to treat it like that.
He's a very good baseball guy. He's got a lot of ideas. I mean, he's a hitter. He's a hitter by nature, but he has a pretty good understanding of everything that goes on, and he understands pitching and the importance of it.
Attaboy. Let's jump right in, baby. Having played for Coach Spencer, and, you know, learning from him as a player, and then also having been here for, you know, and this is my 5th year, and learning from him that way, and just and all the coaches bring something a little bit different to the table. You know, whether it's Coach Horner, Coach Tadlock, or Coach Webster, and you learn things from them, how they go about their business and why they're successful. Sometimes just listening and paying attention and seeing the little things that these guys do and seeing how successful people operate is obviously a positive thing to be around. Middle, 5, here we go.
Pitch. Well, that's lined into left field for the base hit. That'll score. Brandon Moore clapping his hands.
Pick us up, big time. Oh boy, we got 2 down now, 2 down.
Yeah, Jarv's huge. You know, he gets us, you know, kind of keeps us loose, but also in the zone. And when we get to first, he tells us about the pitcher's move and stuff like that.
You let guys know how many outs there are, you know, what, you know, freeze on line drives, you know, you got to score on a double. You don't have a lot of time because the guys have to get the sign from Coach Horner. And hey, he's got to stay with Horn Dog a long time, okay? If he hits something hard, you know, it might not be automatic that he's sending them, you know what I mean? And, you know, get their lead and get going. So you kind of just pick a couple talking points and give them as much information as you can right in the, you know, few seconds that you have, and just do your best to give them something that they can use.
Set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is hammered to deep left field. Wade is going back.
Get up, ball.
Fence, and
come on. Go two. Get there.
He had to hold up to see if the ball would be caught. He will score, and Tech leads it 6-5 on the RP2 double by Tim Proudfoot.
If you're ever out here and I mean, there's obviously times where you're losing, or you're getting beat, where you're not necessarily smiling. But if you're not happy to have the opportunity to be out here and be part of this game, then you got something wrong with you. So you call games there too?
Yeah, I'm in the Southland now.
All right. You're just moonlighting out here in Lubbock today?
I think he gets a little bored out there between innings and between pitching changes. So he'll talk to you, talk to pretty much anyone, but that's just who he is, and, you know, we love him here. He does a great job with what he does with Texas Tech. Yeah, you know, you get a little bit of you got to kill the time somehow, and also it's, you know, it's good to have a relationship with the umpires. It's good to, you know, have a relationship with first baseman or whatnot, just because baseball is, you know, you got to be locked in at each pitch, but, you know, there's a lot of downtime, and there's a lot of time where if you're just locked in the entire time, you can drive yourself nuts. We got to get it right here. Come on, Scott. Let's go. Come on, do it for Tweedle. Here we go.
Andy Jarvis, man, he's a man of many words. Yeah, he's just a great guy. I think he's pretty much just the buffer role between the coaches and the players. But when it comes down to it, he loves this game, and there's a reason why he's here, and there's a reason why Spence keeps him along. Just a great guy. If you ever want to talk about the game and on the mental side of it and things that he's gone through.
That's a big 0 right there. Now it's time to go. It's winning time, boys. Let's get it. Winning time right here, Burley. Here we go.
Oh, Jarvis, he's a good guy. I mean, he hates losing just as much as we do. So, like, if we're not having good at-bats in the first part of the game, he's getting us fired up in the dugout.
Here we go. We got to score right now. Come on. Change the board. Change the board right here. Let's go. Come on, Amp. Come on, Brent. Get us going. You know, as the volunteer assistant, I think that my role has to be, you know, you're not the head coach and you're not a player, and you know what I mean, you're not, so you're kind of in the middle, and so you kind of have to give them the information that you can and provide them with your knowledge, but also if you can be enthusiastic, if you can bring a little energy, if you can just help get the guys going and motivated and be positive, then that's one of your roles as well. Boy, Shane, come on, we gotta go now, we gotta go. We're in the winning time now, winning time.
That. You feel that?
That's good right there. And it immediately takes out the loop. Feeling like you're going uphill, because when you just hit floating on top of it, it's almost like I'm gonna end up, I have no choice but to stay on my backside and everything becomes like a loop. Does that make sense?
When we're in the cage, it's more mechanical stuff. Swing plane, what they're doing with their hands, whether or not they're trapping them hands, their path to the baseball, whether they're using the ground to hit.
But my front side can't just be floating when I'm hitting it. It has to be down into the ground.
He's very diligent. Coach Horner is a very, very hands-on coach. Does a tremendous job with our guys. He has, a wealth of experience. Most of his experience, obviously, is at the professional level.
But it's the same feeling. The base is really, really good. It's really good. Now it's just a simple fact of getting that feeling of you're used to hitting from high.
He can kind of point them to the reality of the minor leagues and what it takes to be a big leaguer and how fortunate or lucky or good that you have to be to get there. And here's what some of the guys that he's coached that are now in the big leagues have done to get there, and they had this kind of talent, or they could handle this thing.
They could go down into the ground. Good. Good.
We're trying to get Blake to use his legs a little bit. He's a big guy and he's got a lot of leverage. But the one thing that we're trying to get him to do is to try to use his legs a little bit more. And he's doing it, and he's doing it a good job, but he's using his legs kind of pushing up towards the sky rather than pushing level or down into the ground.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So now that your base is a little bit lower, you can't go low back to high. It has to be from where it starts from, it has to be down into the ground.
When you hit and you create leverage, you have to use the ground. So you create that leverage or that torque. Because he's big and his arms are long, he creates a lot of whip with his barrel. So he's going to have some power when he starts to figure it out.
And once that goes, oh my goodness, watch out. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. Lopi, on the video that I watched today.
In Jordan Lopez's case, there's a lot of things that he does that he attacks the ball, and it's really, really deep on him, meaning like it's almost way inside of his front foot when he's making contact.
Which gives you no shot to be on time. And so now when you finally get there, this is where you're fouling the ball off, rather than fighting it off here. Does that make sense? So it's a timing thing with you. It's just a timing thing. That's why yesterday it looked like you were almost swinging in water.
Sometimes when Jordan Lopez attacks the ball too far out in front of him, the barrel is way far below his hands, and so it's really skinny. If you can imagine it facing the ball, how skinny it would be. And that's just trying to get him to understand that he needs to keep his barrel above his hands towards the plane of the swing longer.
Because the swing is fine, everything's good. Yes, you get a little steep at times, but I think you get steep because you're late.
It's more of a trying to get the kid to understand of where he can hit the ball, where he's going to be flatter. So when he does get into the zone, it's closer to almost parallel to the ground rather than straight up and down to the ground.
I immediately drop my barrel because I try to get into the strike zone faster. Does that make sense? So the steepness, I think, is coming because of the simple fact of you're attacking the ball too late and your timing's off.
In order to do that, he's got to try to make his contact closer to his front foot to where his swing is going to be just a little bit flatter in the zone.
The last two, where do you think you made contact on? Right almost even with your front foot.
Horner's great. It's just he's real calm, easy to talk to, and if you're having trouble, he's there for you. And, he looks for things that you need to work on, and he'll help you out. And whenever you need him, he's always there.
You know what I mean? It's a round ball, round bat. And you're trying to go square. It ain't going to happen right every time. Just trust the fact that the swing is right, and you just mishit the ball.
The one thing about hitting is you can't hit if you're tight. You can't hit if you're thinking. And so I just try to remind them that, hey, it's a round ball, round bat. It's difficult to do. You just got to do the best you can when you're in there, when you're in the box and you're competing against the guy.
You'll be just fine. You really will.